Hi. Have you ever heard of the saying that the first few years of marriage could be turbulent? Have you experienced it? Are you experiencing it? Or do you even think that it's a thing? Well, you'll find out in this. I have here with me my admirable husband, Mr. Dr. Ajatunle, who will be joining us in this conversation. So, hello, sir.
Hello.
So what do you think about this? I don't know if it's a thing or a notion
Okay.
that the first few years in marriage could be turbulent. Let's say 5 years to 7 years or whatever could be turbulent. So what do you think about it? Is it a thing? Is it real? Is it? Let's hear your
Mm,
thoughts on it.
it's actually real
Okay.
in the sense that for some persons to have had such a mindset or notion
Mhm.
or perspective, it's likely because of what they may have experienced
Okay.
or they heard.
Mm.
And if we want to really x-ray it, it's a possibility
Okay.
that people could get married and have a few challenges for their first few years. But it's good we make it very clear here that it's not a rule of thumb that when you get married for your first few years of marriage, maybe first 5 years, you would have quarrels. It's not a rule of thumb, but
Okay.
it's a possibility that it can happen. That
Okay.
two persons will get married and they will have challenges. And in case you're wondering why it could be a possibility,
Mm.
this is because one, you are getting married to someone you have never lived with before.
Okay.
Two, you are getting married to someone. At times, you will see some persons who have not who didn't really court for a good number of should I say years now, or they didn't really have a nice time during the courtship. So some of these things could be transferred into their marriages, and that's why you see some persons getting married and having issues in their first few years of marriages. But it can be controlled, it can be curtailed, and if possible, it can even be possibly eliminated completely.
Okay.
But it depends on so many factors.
Excuse me. So if you have said that it is true, it is a possibility, and it's a thing, then let's look at the possible ways that this thing can be handled or should be handled if it's a thing. So
Okay, now that you're asking for those who got married and had
and are
issues,
having
okay, and
issues,
having if
yes, they're experiencing that turbulence in their 2 years in marriage, a year in marriage, few months in marriage, 5 years in marriage, 6 years, 7 years, as the case may be, and they are really struggling about one thing or the other. So, what will be your advice to them? What are the ways, the solutions that they can employ that will help subpedal the issues that they are having in their homes?
okay, the first thing I would say is for the couples to seek knowledge. To seek knowledge in the sense that they should really now knowledge about what marriage entails, knowledge about each other. Now this will take me back to the point I made on some couples didn't really have, I would say, a robust courtship. Now, by me saying a robust courtship, I'm not necessarily saying you should court for 5 years or be in courtship for 3 years. No, or you having a courtship where there was intense communication, where you really sat down to us and dissect matters and really get to discuss lots of things that could cause issues in marriage. Now, when you look at things that could easily cause quarrels in marriage, it's just disagreement on some points, which would have been addressed,
Misunderstanding.
or misunderstanding, which would have been easily addressed during the days of courtship. But you see that many couples didn't really have that kind of time. So what you have to do now is to go back and begin to seek knowledge, know what marriage really entails. Two, understand your partner. You must come down to know who you are married to And this is why we usually teach during our premarital classes on gender differences, so that you will truly understand who a man is different from a woman. And it's quite unfortunate that there are many persons out there who don't really understand the basic differences between men and women. So just to know who you are married to, and it's also good for you to know that your spouse is peculiar to you, if I'll use it that way,
unique in their own
or
way.
good. He or she is unique, and it is good for you to calm down to really understand this partner and avoid comparison. Don't say, "Oh, this is how my friend's wife treats him," or "This is how my friend's husband does." This no, avoid comparison, and get to understand your own partner. You see, it will help to solve all those quarrels. And you could also seek knowledge from books. Be committed to reading books.
Before you go into book, I was going to point out that knowing how your partner wants to be communicated to also matters.
Okay.
Yes, or how your partner communicates also matters. Just like we were discussing yesterday. If, for example, let me use us for example. For example, if you stay with us and maybe you see the way your husband relates, I might say something in a way, but because of he has lived with me under the years, over the years, he understands the tone for when I don't mean what I'm saying. He understands the tone of when I am happy, or he understands the tone of when I'm really, really like sad and I'm not like I'm being disobedient. Let me use that word. He understands the tone when I'm being disobedient, when I'm being obedient, when I'm saying the same thing. For example, let me give an example. If he says, bring water for me to drink, for example, I might say, I'm not bringing water for you to drink. He knows he knows that I am only just joking. I'm going to bring the water to drink. But I might say, I'm not getting water for you to drink. It's the same thing, but the communication and the manner, he understands it, so to say. But let's say someone comes to live with us now and hears that for the first time. The person might be like, is she disrespecting her husband? I don't understand. Why is she talking to him like this and that? So that's what we mean by understand your partner. That's what we mean. Seek knowledge about your partner.
Get to know your partner.
Get to know your partner. Some people, as shocking as this may sound, maybe because of their background, where they are coming from, or the kind of friends they keep, or the kind of experiences they have had, or whatever it is. This simple thing of my husband saying, "Get me water to drink," and the wife, even when she's even joking, he doesn't know. I'm not getting you water to drink, or I'm not giving you the cup, or go to kitchen by yourself, something like that. Now,
and it's your way.
It's not my way. Stop it. Stop it. So now, because of the kind of mentality he has entered, marriage is a certain kind of mindset that is now fight, and going. Although we're coming to that part, but he now picks it up and becomes petty, so to say. I'm saying, or she picks it up and becomes petty, because the case when vice versa now. How would you get water to drink? Before you know, quarrel starts. Unnecessary misunderstanding. Just that's what we mean by seek knowledge about your spouse. Get to understand yourself. You see, when both of you understand yourself, I don't think there's anything that will bring in serious issues per se, or the issues will be so strong that it cannot be discussed or easily reconciled, or I don't know how to put it. Okay,
so seek knowledge. Also seek knowledge from professionals. In this part of the world, we are not so much comfortable to go and share our
issues, so to say,
issues before some, but there's totally nothing wrong. The truth is that there's persons who have gone ahead, and it might not be by age or by anything, but God has helped them to pass through this same phase that you might be struggling with. So there's nothing wrong in seeking help. So, okay, please, how did you go through this phase?
Yes.
And you could properly guided on how to go through that particular phase. So seek help from professionals, seek help from books, from messages too, and all this will help the two of you go through that early phase in your marriage.
Yeah, so this brings us to the next point, what I was talking about, the mindset thing. So don't get into a marriage with a certain kind of mindset that is all quarrel, trouble, and get into marriage with the right mindset. Let me just put it that way. Some people got into marriage with the mindset that if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, fine. We'll just move out and life continues.
No, I'm just trying to process. Now, for those who are married already, how they begin to change their mindset?
Have you not seen people that entered a marriage with the mindset that they want that if
they want to quarrel
or they are working out on each other? When you get married to someone and if they have this mindset that have you not seen spouses that threaten themselves with other people or say things that are not pleasant because of a little disagreement that they have? If I know, I'd have married that other person. It wouldn't have been you. I feel that life, she is better than you or he is better than you. It would have been better more than what we are going through. Like there's something you used to say to me when we're in a relationship that the grass is not always greener on the other side. You used to say it to me.
It's true.
And so don't have this mindset of there's something better out there. There's someone better than your spouse out there. If you have that mindset, you would not be willing to work on your marriage.
Very true.
You would not be willing to work on it. Why? Because you always have it somewhere at your mind that there's something better than this person or this situation, whatever it is. So have the mindset of we go nowhere. Not we die there, not dying, but we go nowhere. If you have the mindset that nobody is working out on each other, so people will threaten you, I will just leave you, I will go, I'll pack my bags, I will go. When our shakara is plenty, any small thing, pack,
not just women, even men.
Okay.
Part of the things that can cause this kind of mindset is when you are still in touch with your exes or ex. Because I feel that
apart from ex, I think it's even the mindset of it's a mindset apart from ex. Some people don't have any ex anywhere. Their exes are even married, so to say. But they just feel that there's somebody seeing something out there that's better than this spouse that they married. Then why did you marry him? So if you are, you know how people say you take the bold step to get married. So I feel that marriage is a bold step. Yeah, because marriage is talking about the mind now, not age. Talking about marriage now, not age, is for two mature people really. And so if you are making a decision, like taking that bold step to go into marriage, then you must be ready to go into, you know how they say, with your full chest. Don't be thinking of something, something and someone out there. Yes. So I think if you enter marriage with the right mindset of not always threatening to leave, of not always comparing your partner with another, you see, no two marriages are the same. We are all unique in our own ways.
You know that one of the reasons why some persons are really having issues in their marriages is because some persons were forced into marriage. There are some persons who do not really desire marriage. Understand? But because of our African culture, this societal pressure, and there's just that thing. Oh, if you're not married, it's like so. Some persons are forced into getting married, and one of the worst things that can ever happen to any person is to get married to someone who is not really ready to be married. Understand it right? They will so
someone you begged
they will so frustrate that marriage. Why it's more like, so you forced me into
this,
I'm doing a favor, if not for my parents, if not for this, if not for friends and everything. So it's always good, and that's for those who are in courtship, you should really know who you are going to get married to. Does he really want to get married, or is out of pressure from his friends, his parents, or peer groups and things like that? Or does she really want to? Because I've heard some ladies who say, see, this thing is not just for them, but a few years down the line, they're talking about getting married. So have they changed their mindset, or is just out of age? Let me just get married and have children or things
Because
like that. So
everyone is doing
because everyone is doing so, it's good we really know that this thing called marriage requires so much commitment and if
it. Discipline
and
also.
discipline. So if you do it well and have a hitch-free marriage, then your heart must just be in it.
Your
Mm,
mindset for it must be right.
must be right. So
Okay, so I think our next point will be seek peace, right? And look out for each other. So
we can discuss it.
so seek peace and look out for each other. I feel that choose peace first of all. I feel that if you got married because of love, then you should be looking out for each other, not anticipating troubles from each other. We are a product of our experiences, background, and what we've told ourselves or what we feel our environment with. Let me just use that word. What do I mean by that? Some people they grew up in an environment, not even directly their parents, maybe uncles, aunties, or whatever, or they saw it happening where it was more like trouble in that marriage. What they saw. So now they now have this mindset that nobody will treat me like this.
Very true.
Or whatever it is, and then you now get married to someone, and instead of you thinking of beautiful things, the Bible said we should think of whatever things are true, whatever things are good, whatever things are beautiful, and all of that. So instead of you thinking on those things, you are somehow somewhat always anticipating trouble, because I feel that the Bible said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? Okay. So what is in your heart? What is going on in your heart is what will come out of your mouth and what will be your response. So there's people that are always anticipating trouble from their partner, even when their partner doesn't even mean trouble. For the fact that both of you quarreled about something or had misunderstanding about something yesterday, and your partner has even forgotten about it, or you spoke about it and it has gone, and that kind of thing almost replayed itself again. Instead of you just waiting like a hyena and a lion, just waiting to attack, or a cobra, I feel that you should even calm down and look at your partner, look at the perspective they are coming from, and that's why, so to say, some issues come up, and the person, some misunderstanding comes up, and the person is trying to explain to the person that no, you are seeing with the eyes of yesterday. The person is saying no, that is how you are, that's what you are thinking, and the person is saying no, that is not it. Okay, so
seek peace. You see, to err is human, right? But to forgive is divine. So one must be conscious. I heard something that a good marriage is made up of two lovers and two forgivers. So one must be conscious of the fact that as for your partner, he or she must err, must step on your toes, must do things that don't really go down well with you. But just as she said, seek peace. You see, you must not see. They asked Bishop David Oyedepo that why do you think you would get married and have a hitch-free marriage and a peace marriage? He said, one, because he's not blind, and two, because he's not wicked. Meaning, if he's hurting you, he will know. So he would, oh, okay, I'm sorry, or things like that. So one must be out for peace. If your partner offends you and he's not even willing to acknowledge that he has done something wrong, you, out of you trying to seek peace, you can still go and say, okay, let peace reign, and just let things. You see, if you will have a hitch-free marriage, you must have a very large heart. That's the truth. There's nobody that is having a sweet marriage that does not forgive. Let me just put it that way. There's no one that's having a sweet marriage that will not learn to forgive. Why? Because your partner will do one thing that won't really go well with you. So if you choose to hold on to that and say, this thing you did, I will never forgive you, then you will never have a sweet marriage. And you see some persons having sweet marriages and you can't have. Why? Because of how you keep holding things at heart. So you must let go, you must seek peace, you must learn to forgive. And don't forget that a good marriage is made up of two lovers and two forgivers. So let that be
Okay. I would also
consciousness.
like to add to you that you must not learn to overlook sometimes.
Mm.
If you have a peaceful marriage, you must not complain about everything. You must not quarrel about
Pick
everything, pick on
on
everything. You should
everything.
not be petty self. You know, somebody will just pour water, oh, pour water here. Sometimes you just learn to overlook some certain things.
Hmm.
How are
Let
you?
me share something. Now, I've never said this before,
Hope it's
just for
not,
you to
hope it's
know.
not about me.
It's about you, but not a bad thing.
Okay.
Okay, so there was one time they gave us I think um meat from work, goat goat meat. So my wife took the intestines and gave it out. Understand? Now I'm just mentioning this now. She's not aware. Just to teach you on how to let things go and don't let it hold anything. For me, I was looking forward to eating the intestines.
Oh, really?
Why? Because I was used to eating goat meat pepper soup with the intestines, all those offals and everything. But she said she gave them out and everything. I just said, okay, there's no problem. And that was how the thing ended. Understand? But I'm just telling you that
If you had held on to it.
if I had held on to it and said, this thing that I was planning to eat, why would you give it, like give them out and everything? It would have led to serious spoil. Why? Because it will be misunderstood. And it's that you don't want to give, you don't want to, and things like that. So one must learn to overlook things. And it goes on many times like that. You must learn to overlook if you're going to have a hitch-free and a peaceful marriage.
That's a powerful point. Okay, so you mentioned something.
Okay.
Yes, you spoke about one just letting things go and all of that. So are you trying to say that we should play the fool sometimes in mind? Not necessarily fool, but
and the thing there is, even agape love at times is viewed as a foolish love. Yes, that's just the
Jesus
truth.
coming to that.
When you are loving someone, when the person is not really quote unquote doing anything what
they did
loving
to Jesus.
for. Understand it right? So for God has shown his love towards us in that while we were still yet sinners, Christ died for us. So when there was no reason for him to have died, that was when he died. So if you look at that kind of love from a world's perspective, it's more like you are being foolish and everything. And the truth is, if you're going to have a hitch-free marriage, there are times where you just need to act quote unquote like a fool before your partner by letting things go and not holding on, not picking on things. People of the world may think you are not smart, you are not wise, you are weak, but you are just trying for peace to reign. And eventually they'll still admire your kind of marriage more than theirs of battles and quarrels and everything.
Or trying to play smart.
Or trying to play smart.
This thing you just said is very true because as you mentioned, I'm just thinking of Jesus Christ. The same people he came to save, same people he came to die for already, who was shouting, crucify him. They even picked a sinner over him when they're telling them to choose
who to be released.
Whereas it was even for them that he was even doing. You know, if he's now work, he say, I'm not doing again. These people,
I don't die for them again.
I don't do again. It's not worth it. Do you understand?
Very true. Very true.
So I think go and read a part of the Bible and see what Jesus did for us, you know, and how people were even trying to, you know, do a jungle justice on him and all of that. Just read about it and see through everything Jesus still died for. And they were even still mocking him on the cross and saying, save yourself. You know, he said you are the king of the world. They put a crown of thorn on his head and everything, yet he still went ahead. If you look at it, read it in a marriage context. Please read that verse in a marriage context. Trust God to give you light and understanding. So final words and
you pray because now there are some issues that are really deep rooted in the sense that, for instance, a man gets married and he wants children and his wife is not bringing forth children. Understand? So that can lead to serious issues. In such cases where they've even done tests, they say he's fine, she's fine. You know, you just have to go back to God. And that's the point I'm trying to make, that you pray. You pray. There are some issues that the two of you are going through that it's only God that can just handle such. Only God can intervene. So pray about the misunderstanding. Pray about the root cause of that problem, of that challenge. Pray and trust God to just have His way and take charge and come in and bring peace back to your marriage.
Yeah, so my final words would be there. Some, just like you have stated, some difficult issues could even be habits from past life
Very
before they
true.
even got married. And she keeps complaining about it, he keeps complaining about it, and it's not going away. They are trying their best. You see, if God instituted marriage, then He's there to help us.
Definitely.
If you encounter, marriage is an institution, just like how we go to schools in universities. So lecturers, they teach us specific courses and all of that. So if you encounter any challenge in that course, I feel you should go back to the lecturer of that course and have a seat with him, discuss it with him, and see how possible solutions can be provided to help you. So I feel the same thing with God. Go to him, talk to him about it, have a seat with him, talk about it, and see he would step in. God, he said, John 14:14 said, if we ask anything in his name, he's going to do it. So he's ready to always help, because at the end of the day, marriage is this thing. I think he's the only one that even have the solutions.
The full manual.
Yes, the full manual
On how to make it work.
Yeah, so
Very true.
here's bye from us.
Yeah, bye.
Remember, every marriage can work.
Yeah, if you're ready to work.